If you are suffering from depression, it is important to have hope that you can heal. Conventional medicine offers little hope for sufferers of depression apart from lifelong prescriptions without an explanation of the cause of the symptoms. Depression itself is very tough to deal with, and when sufferers lose hope they can recover, it may be too much to deal with. As we will explain in this video, depression is associated with biological changes that can be measured within the blood, and these biological changes can be reversed. A study of 50 subjects, 30 with major depressive disorder and 30 healthy controls, conducted in Spain found that patients with depression had high levels of a marker which is formed by oxidative breakdown of the body. The study suggested that this marker could be used for diagnosis of depression. The increased level of this marker means that those suffering from depression are suffering a higher than normal rate of ongoing damage to their bodies. A study conducted in Turkey on 44 with major depressive disorder, 37 with generalized anxiety disorder, and 38 healthy controls found that the same marker associated with oxidative breakdown of the body was elevated in subjects suffering depression, but also found that vitamin E levels, which is an important antioxidant in the body, was significantly lower in those suffering depression and anxiety. A study of 247 patients suffering major depressive disorder and 248 healthy controls conducted in Bangladesh found the same thing as the two previously mentioned studies. That is, the same marker of oxidative breakdown of the body was significantly elevated in those suffering depression, but also cortisol was increased, which is a hormone which is elevated in response to stress. A study in Egypt on 60 patients with major depressive disorder and 60 healthy controls found again that the same oxidative stress marker mentioned in the previous 3 studies was elevated in those suffering depression. This study also found lower levels of a critical antioxidant enzyme and a marker of cellular antioxidant status. As you can see, depression is consistently associated with an increased rate of degradation of the tissues in the body. This study found the severity of depression was correlated with the levels of these markers. A study of 31 controls and 28 individuals suffering major depressive disorder conducted in Korea found that the total antioxidant capacity in the serum of those suffering depression was significantly less than in the healthy controls. A study of 18 patients with depression and 36 controls conducted in the USA found that those suffering depression had higher levels of a marker of oxidative stress in their urine than the healthy controls. A study on 84 participants with clinical depression and 85 healthy controls conducted in Canada found that a marker of oxidative breakdown of DNA was increased in depression sufferers compared to healthy controls and was further increased with major depression. In a study of 35 women with depressive disorder and 35 matched healthy women conducted in the Czech Republic, it was found that women with depressive disorder had decreased levels of blood antioxidant levels, decreased levels of one major free radical neutralizing enzyme, and increased levels of another. Exposure to oxidative stress itself can upregulate antioxidant enzymes in the body. The good news is that multiple studies have found that the consumption of antioxidants has been shown to be beneficial in the treatment of depression. Supplementation of vitamin A, C, and E to depressed patients was able to increase levels of blood antioxidants and also reduce symptoms of depression. This shows us that the symptoms of depression are correlated to blood markers which can be improved by a number of safe and simple treatments. Without doubt, there is an association between depression and increased oxidative stress levels. This has been demonstrated in studies from all around the world by analyzing multiple markers of oxidative stress in those suffering depression and comparing the results with people not suffering depression. So the logical question would be, what is causing this oxidative stress and how can it be reversed? Many factors can increase the rate of oxidation in the body. We will go through these factors one by one and suggest ways to address them and lower the associated oxidative stress levels. Low dietary intake of antioxidants will result in low blood levels of antioxidants. Increase the amount of antioxidants you consume by ensuring you consume a wide variety of herbs, vegetables, fruits, and avoid processed food. Consume beverages which contain high levels of antioxidants regularly, like teas, cocoa, and coffee. Consuming high amounts of individual antioxidants may be counterproductive and can actually increase oxidative stress levels. This has been shown in various studies. However, when in an environment where there is a higher demand for antioxidants, such as in the case with depression, supplementation is less likely to pose a risk. Consider taking a supplement which contains a range of different antioxidant substances such as CoQ10, vitamin E, C, A, selenium, and a number of herbal extracts. Antioxidants work together synergistically, so it is better to take smaller amounts of a range of antioxidants than large doses of a single antioxidant. Different antioxidants are able to protect different parts of the cell or the body. The majority of antioxidant protection within our body is generated by antioxidant producing enzymes within the cells. Such enzymes as glutathione transferase, glutathione reductase, superoxide dismutase, and catalase. These enzymes and the enzymes that these enzymes are dependent on require a large number of raw materials such as amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to function properly. These can be obtained through a healthy and varied diet. A full-spectrum multivitamin, multimineral can also be taken to ensure ample amounts of these raw materials are always available in times of increased demand on these enzymes. Melatonin, our most potent antioxidant, is produced in large amounts during sleep. Ensure your sleep is not cut short or disturbed. Avoid toxins and habits which use up your antioxidants, such as smoking, drinking in excess, exposure to stress, lack of sleep, exposure to poisons and environmental pollutants, exposure to pesticides and herbicides, medications and recreational drugs, exposure to polluted water and air, exposure to radiation and excessive electromagnetic frequencies, consumption of pharmaceutical or recreational drugs. The immune system is designed to rapidly destroy pathogens that enter our body. Immune system cells do this by creating inflammation and releasing oxidative molecules to destroy the invaders. This is a big problem now that 5 to 10% of the world's population are experiencing autoimmune conditions. Autoimmunity causes unrelenting activation of the immune system, which in turn causes persistent inflammation and oxidative stress. The autoimmune disease needs to be treated to lower the ongoing oxidative stress caused by the immune system. On a daily basis, we are exposed to an assortment of environmental pollutants in the food we eat, water we drink, and the air we breathe. These pollutants can inhibit cellular enzymatic functions, block cellular uptake of nutrients, and clog cellular receptors. The end result is that these pollutants increase oxidative stress in the body and weaken systems which protect the body. Thankfully, most of these pollutants will be excreted by the body within days or weeks after exposure has been ceased. However, there are a significant number of environmental pollutants that can be retained in our tissues for years or decades. This retained toxic burden in our body can result in a vast range of problems and dysfunctions in the body. For some, these pollutants may directly or indirectly stimulate immune system activation and thus result in autoimmune-like conditions, which result in ongoing damage and oxidative stress in the body. Our environment has been polluted for centuries due to industrial activity. This means that ongoing exposures to a range of these persistent toxins is almost unavoidable. As these pollutants are excreted so slowly from the body, even small ongoing exposures can lead to an ever-increasing buildup. The inhibition of cellular enzymes which produce antioxidants results in an increased sensitivity to oxidative stress and increased levels of cellular damage. This will gradually lead to loss of vigor, vitality, fatigue, and numerous other symptoms like depression. If improving your diet and lifestyle has not resolved your depressive symptoms, the next step you should take is to reduce your body burden of persistent pollutants. I previously dealt with anhedonia, depression, loss of vigor, among other symptoms. I visited many doctors and tried a long list of supplements and treatments in an attempt to resolve the symptoms with very limited success. I started making appreciable progress overcoming these symptoms when I started reducing the buildup of persistent toxins in my body. This process cannot be rushed, as sudden mobilization of these toxins from the tissues into the blood and excretory organs can cause a temporarily worsening of symptoms and possibly organ damage. Thankfully, there are a number of vitamins, minerals, herbs, and pharmaceuticals which can be used to facilitate the removal of these persistent pollutants from the body. I have created a guide to help you detoxify yourself of your body burden of persistent pollutants. This guide was not just formulated from my experiences going through this process and recovering from many symptoms. Around 1,000 research studies were reviewed to formulate this guide. The book contains 50 pages of references to research discussed in the book. While the environment has been polluted over the last number of centuries, subjecting us to a high load of environmental contaminants, thankfully substantial amounts of research has been done on how these environmental pollutants can be removed from the body. We cannot reach optimal levels of health, vigor, and vitality until we clear ourselves of this toxic burden within us. As you lower the amount of pollutants trapped in your body, you will likely experience improvements in many areas of your health. Click the link below to purchase my detoxification guidebook.